I'm fond of saying that buttons are a hack, and that is something that I don't necessarily mean as something that is negative exactly. I think buttons are an inspired hack, both in the real world as well as our interfaces. We've introduced buttons and switches into our life, both physical and virtual, to work on things at a distance when we're not able to work on them directly. A light switch over here turns on a light over there, right? In the same way, in virtual things, they're also abstract actions. So you're not working directly with the content. You're pushing a button to do some abstract black box action that happens, that affects the primary object or content way over there. With touch, we have an opportunity to sort of move away from that. And again, those kinds of things, buttons and menus and tabs, were developed because we needed them for the desktop. But as we have more human interactions with touch, and now we're beginning to see speech become mature, and soon facial recognition and physical gestures are starting to become mature and useful, that as we start to experiment with those things, we're able to sort of say, wow, maybe we don't need those workarounds, those hacks anymore. As useful as they've been, we need to think as designers, wow, what can we do with a swipe, with a 3-finger touch, with a 5-finger finger press that let people almost play an app like an instrument more than use it like a tool. And I think that there are very natural gestures, especially, especially when you think about print, just the very tactile nature of the reason that we who love books and magazines and newspapers love to use those is that there's something that's great about manipulating the page. And while we can't manipulate these images under glass in the same way, there's still sort of a satisfaction about thinking about how do we manipulate content. There's a new app that's gotten a lot of attention in the last month or two called Clear. It's a to-do list app for iOS. And, there are no buttons in this app. And it's a very simple to-do list app, but you just sort of spread your fingers to make a gap in the list, and a new item pops in, and you can just, you can pull the whole thing down to go back to close that list and go to another thing. So the whole thing is sort of manipulating and squeezing and nudging the content directly. That there's no sort of, I want to save this. It's just you put it in and it's saved. You swipe it out of the way and it's done. Drag it into the new action. So it's this very physical nature of working with content where the content itself is the control, right? I mean, this is the exciting thing, is that the information is the interface. You don't have to think through it or parse it. It's just very direct interaction that takes very little thinking. It becomes instinctual.